religious freedom of the majority. Religious freedom and minority rights did not draw anyone's attention. The fact that a majority of any countries did not share the beliefs of a minority faith did not make those beliefs and practice any less protected. Turkey's population 99% Muslim. The remaining 1% are Jewish, Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, and other Christians. The situation of non-Muslim minorities in Turkey is extremely complex in light of the prevailing legal framework. Turkey's minority regime has been shaped under the foundational legal framework of the Treaty of Lausanne. Turkey's official minority policy was also based on the Peace Treaty of Lausanne. The Peace Treaty of Lausanne was signed on July 24, 1923, between Great Britain, France, Italy, Japan, Greece, Romania, and the Serbian Slovenian state on the one hand, and Turkey on the other. There are three types of status for non-Muslim minority groups in Turkey. First, non-Muslim minorities recognized as such by the state with the Treaty of Lausanne. Second, non-Muslim minorities unrecognized by the state with the Treaty of Lausanne. Third, non-Muslim minorities unrecognized by the state after the signing of Treaty of Lausanne. As can be seen in the graph, there were several other religious groups, mostly concentrated in Istanbul and other large cities. The first consists of recognized minorities according to the Peace Treaty of Lausanne. These are exclusively the Armenians, Bulgarians, Greeks, and Jews. At the Lausanne Treaty, the recognized minority groups in Turkey obtained the right to open church-owned private schools. These minorities have schools beginning at preschool and continuing through high school. Officially recognized religious minorities may operate schools under supervision of the Ministry of Education. One of the principals of these schools are Turkish, and they receive their salaries from the government. However, only minorities are allowed to attend such schools, and all other expenditures are paid for the minorities. The curriculum of these schools includes Greek, Orthodox, Armenian Orthodox, and Jewish instruction. According to the recognized minorities, the Minorities Committee's greatest difficulty in Turkey. For example, the Armenian Patriarchate of Istanbul, the Greek Orthodox Ecumenical Patriarchate of Istanbul, and the Chief Rabbinate of Turkey have never been granted official status as legal authorities. All related state business is conducted by the responsible departments of the Ministry of Interior, based on resolutions passed by the Minorities Committee in accordance with its own interpretation of the traditions of religious communities. This committee is supposedly the state body with the greatest authority over minorities. However, its scope of authority is still unclear. Minorities must receive permission from this committee for any activity, but it is hard to obtain. For example, when a minority school applied to go to summer camp, the committee turned down their request in the interest of national security. The decisions of the committee is final. They cannot be challenged by the courts and cannot be appealed by minorities. A second challenge that these minority leaders face is that they have no regular income from the community or the state. This problem can hardly be solved by the communities as long as there is no legal connection between the communities on the one hand and the religious leadership on the other. These institutions are maintained by community foundation, which act as the property owners and are only accountable to the state. Armenian, Greek, and Jewish foundations were not allowed to buy or sell property after 1936. Can I get? Thank you. Sorry. However, in order to meet European Union membership requirements, the government declared in August 2002 that Armenian, Greek, and Jewish foundations could buy and sell properties with permission from Ministers' Council. In addition, they can now be members of foundations outside of Turkey. The second group is the non-Muslim minorities who were present in Turkey at the time of the Treaty of Lausanne but were not recognized by the state as minorities within the treaty. These are, for example, the Syrian Orthodox Church and Catholic United Churches, such as the Chaldean Church, the Syrian Catholic Church, and the Roman Catholic Church. The major difficulty for these minorities is training priests and teachers of religion. The Arab Orthodox Church and the Syrian Orthodox Church, for example, have organized their property as community foundation under civil law. But unlike the recognized non-Muslim minorities, the Syrian Orthodox Church is not allowed to use its monasteries for educational purposes. These monasteries have never held any school-level education, only the basic training of priests and religious teachers. The government has recognized the right of these churches, but they have not been allowed to use these buildings or properties for fundraising, only for religious purposes. The third group of minorities is non-Muslim religious communities that only became active in Turkey after the signing of Treaty of Lausanne. Examples are the Protestant free churches, Jehovah's Witnesses, and many other churches. They have not been able to establish churches or other institutions, including schools. As we see, only minorities recognized by the Turkish government obtained the right to open church-owned private school in Turkey under the guarantees of the Peace Treaty of Lausanne. In this way, even though minorities who given some rights in the Peace Treaty of Lausanne, they still have also had to live under the prohibitions of Turkey unique secularism. Until recently, it was impossible to talk about religious freedom in Turkey in the context of both minority and majority, apart from religious minority groups guaranteed by the Treaty of Lausanne. According to this agreement, certain minorities, especially Christians and Jews, have privileged rights. Minorities included in the Peace Treaty of Lausanne can establish new religious institutions. The Turkish government has limited the number of minority groups that is guaranteed these rights to those that were established at the time of Peace Treaty of Lausanne. I would like to brief you on the current developments in religious freedom and the status of non-Muslim minorities in Turkey due to European Union requirements. We can say that the situation of religious freedom in Turkey is likely to change soon. Turkey has wanted to become part of European Union for a long time, but only recently has it appeared possible. Entry talks started many years ago, but Turkey must improve its human rights and living standards before it can join. In order to meet European Union norms, the previous Turkish government amended the constitution to abolish the death penalty, give language and other rights to the Kurdish people, and drop restriction on the press. As is known, the Justice and Development Party gained control over the government in September 2002. Under the new administration, many laws granting rights to religious minorities have been proposed. Recognized or unrecognized, all religious minorities in Turkey may open new places of worship as long as they obtain a permit for the local governments. Furthermore, the Justice and Development Party recently redefined the role of minority committee with the goal of assisting minorities rather than patrolling them. The government abolished the minority subcommittee established by secret regulation in 1962 to monitor minorities as potential threats to the country and replace it with the board of assess problems of minorities. Unlike the previous law, the law doesn't list the proposed for which foundations can be founded, given the impression that funding religious foundations is permitted. There are 167 minority foundations recognized by the General Directorate for foundation, including Greek Orthodox Foundation with approximately 77 sites, Armenian Orthodox Foundation with approximately 54 sites, etc. The General Directorate for Foundations also regulates historic Muslim charitable foundation, including schools, hospitals, and orphanages. I need to finish my speech because my time is getting up. In conclusion, the country of Turkey has been a very important crossroad between Europe and Asia for centuries. The juncture of civilization has helped develop the political and cultural society of Turkey today. Turkey has had a democracy for almost a century now. Admittedly, many problems have challenged the young republic and have forced it to adjust. However, such adjustments have made it a stronger and safer place for the citizens of the country. Changes in a democracy are expected and indicate progress. Turkey's progression has been substantial, especially in its recent goals for entrance into the European Union. It has shown a commitment to create a better environment for its many citizens, especially shown in its increasing religious freedoms and toleration for all religions. As a model for other Islamic countries who may wish to adopt democracy, Turkey is proof that an Islamic majority and democracy can truly coexist in peace. Thank you for listening and coming.